Good morning. Happy Monday. Oh, what a joyous Monday it is. Let's see if I can walk through here without stepping in a hole. Wouldn't that be cool? The grass is kind of tall and I can't see the holes, okay? Anyway, Penelope has on her warm sweater because it do be a little chilly. Yesterday it was, I forgot, 40 but felt like 33. I don't know. Today it's 40 but feels like 38 is what it says, but it feels colder today than it did yesterday. I don't understand weather. I think they just throw a bunch of numbers at a wall and be like, yep, that's what we're gonna tell them today. We do have a beautiful blue sky, and we do have beautiful birds singing, and we do have a lot of beautiful clouds. Oh gosh, don't take off running. You scared me. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay, so first, most people guessed the first song I was singing because you can obviously read my lips. Read my lips. I did not. Oh, I was singing Boston. More than a feeling, more than a feeling. I think you're dreaming. I don't know. Anyway, that was the first one. See, the problem about being up there in the mountains is you don't pick up music real well, is what I'm trying to say. So I kept having to scan as I drove because I would lose this channel and then I'd end up on another channel. And that second song where I was doing all that, so I don't know. It wasn't even a nice song because there was cussing all the way through it. But it had a good little beat to it, so I don't know. It wasn't my kind of music, though. That's just where the scanner stopped. Please stand by. I need to do my business. Now then. And the curvy road to my sister's. Yeah, you don't want to be out there in the dark. You just don't, because there's no street lights. And that's not the problem. It's not the street lights, because I put my eyeballs on high beam, my car's eyeballs. It's just the fact that there's no guardrails and there's all them sharp turns. But I tell you what, my sister absolutely flies down that road because she drives it every day and she's used to it. No. I did used to be a little more brave, driving a little bit faster, mostly to scare my mom, because she'd be slapping the fire out of me and I thought it was funny. Slapping my arm, But the worst case of my mom getting upset with me is when we drove up Blood Mountain, which is in, I think it's Clayton, Georgia. I don't know. It's like the highest peak in Georgia. And they have all these curvy roads coming down, and then they have all these pull-offs in case you can't stop. And like if a truck gets to going down and loses its brakes or something, it's got these little pull-offs that kind of crash them into, not crash them, but it stops them. It helps them stop. Yeah, that road didn't make my mama happy at all. Anyway, not what we're here to talk about, but I just wanted to follow up with several of the questions I had on the music I was listening to. I have no clue. I watched a documentary. I love getting on YouTube and finding these documentaries. And there again, AI must have been listening to me because it said something about how not to get kidnapped. And I was like, oh, well, let's listen to that video. Well, that really wasn't the name of it, but that's kind of what it implied. Could you please come with me, dear? They're not coming outside. She's looking at the girl's door. I guess she's waiting on them to come outside. I bought you some of them nasty begging strips. She loves them so much. Anyway, back to the video. It's called the Apatani. No, hold on. I said it right. Apatani tribe of some mountain in something of Pradesh, India. And they banned this procedure in 1975, women only, at a very young age, like 8, 9 years old, would put nose plugs in their nose. Of course they're in their nose, Tracy, because they're nose plugs. Duh. They're made of bamboo. But unlike the nose plugs you might buy to go swimming, please stand by. Okay, so unlike the nose plugs that, that's a good picture, isn't it? Unlike the nose plugs that you might put in your nose to go swimming, you don't put them in your nose, Tracy. You put them on the outside of your nose when you want to go swimming. These nose plugs go in the side of your nose on either side, and they're about as big around as a dime, maybe bigger, and they're made of bamboo. Now, the reason that they do this, or did this, because again, they're not allowed to do it anymore, is to prevent them from being kidnapped. They wanted to make themselves look unpleasant to kidnappers. They also tattoo their face. But I'll tell you what, I'll include a couple of pictures. Why are you barking at me? Even though they had those, and the face tattoos, they're such beautiful people. I'm not making fun of them at all. These are disgusting. But you know what? She loves them. Yeah, I just want to tell y'all, so if you are concerned with being kidnapped, just put big old nose plugs in your nose on the sides, because as far as I know, it's not illegal in the U.S. So just don't go to Pradesh, India, because it is, well, India, period, because it is against the law to do it there. Anyway, I'll be back, okay? Okay. We just got back for a walk and you wanted out. Why do you now want in? I know your mustache is still crooked. I need to fix it. I do realize that. Gracie, you're not going to want to stay. Oh, you're not going to want to stay because it's still cold. Are you going? Are you going? She's like, I'm not sure about this, Mom. Do you hear the birds? Was that a hard no? Do you hear the birds? Are you staying out there? I'm closing the door. Do all Siamese cats have those little stripes on their tail like that? Or did she pick that up from her father or whoever he might have been? Penny walking and seeing her reflections kind of freaking me out. What do you want? Huh? What do you want, cute girl? My little cute girl. I thought your sister would want to come right back in, but apparently she doesn't. Yeah, you need more trimming on that face, but you do be looking cute everywhere else. Yeah, you do be looking cute. Look at that little tail. No, stand up and show him your tail. I shaved it so far up. Close. Get up and show. I know, you're so modest. But I shaved it so far up, which I saw on a video, because it keeps that from hanging down over her, you know, her nether regions. Your nether regions. Look who's back wanting in. I knew she would. Yeah, knew she would. Penny's like, where you been? Okay, I'm going back to work. I thought of a couple of stories, just a couple of little quickie stories, and then I will let you go. This was 40 years ago, and for some reason, it popped back up in my memory. Why? I have no clue. Rosemary and Penelope are having a conversation. That's Rosemary. Okay, so the first story is, I would just like to preface this by saying, if you fall, I will come help you up. I will. But if you fall, I'm also going to laugh. I am. I cannot not laugh when I see someone fall, unless it's to the point that, you know, like a bone is sticking out. And then I may still laugh, but that's more of a laugh of nervousness. So just know that about me, okay? I'm gonna laugh. As I'm running to help you, you are gonna hear sniggling and snorting. Sniggling is my friend Trina's word. Sniggling and snorting. Well, it's kind of a giggling and snorting combo. Sniggling. Yeah, you can use it. I'll let you. I mean, I stole it from Trina, but I'll let you use it. Okay, so many moons ago, like 40 years ago, they had these little stools, and they were round, and they had a little step up, and they had wheels on the bottom, and you could kick them and roll them places and then stand on them, or you could sit on them. Now, when you stood or sat on them, you pushed them down, and that way it wasn't rolling, right? Well, allegedly. I was working in records, and the boss I had at the time was probably one of the funniest, well, I mean, he still is, one of the funniest people I've ever met, okay? Barbara worked in the office with us. Barbara was probably about my age now. She was probably about late 50s, 60 years old, something like that. She went to sit down on that stool, and I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, she didn't make it to the stool. And when she sat down, she just kept going, and she ended up on her back. Well, the funny part of it was that the stool somehow ended up between her legs. So she was... she was having difficulty get it together, Tracy. Trying to roll over because the stool was in the way. It all happened so fast. Well, the boss comes in, Anthony. He stands over, he puts his hand on his hip. He's not much taller than I am. And he come back there and he stood with his hand on his hip and he pointed at her. He said, "You look like a cockroach laying on your back and you can't get up." And then he just turned and walked off. Y'all, I like to have died. I did. I like to have died that day. Because I was laughing so hard, but I did help her. I got the stool out from between her legs, from betwixt her legs, so she could roll herself over and help herself up. She was also laughing hysterically by the time she got turned over and on her hands and knees. She was pretty much crying from laughter. That was one of the funniest things. Well, also during that time in my life, I was 19 years old, and I had already worked 2 years part-time at the police department before transferring over to the sheriff's office, okay? So, let me just say that when you work in an office, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it happens. When you work at a place where there's lots of cussing, sometimes cuss words come out of your mouth that you don't even intend for them to come out. Like if you fall or you get mad or, you know, something like that, that you're not planning on saying it, but you say it. I'm sure none of y'all have ever done anything like this, but there was a woman that worked in my office, and her name was Pat, and she knew my mom. Well, I dropped the F-bomb, okay? I did. I guess I was mad about something, and I said the F word. And she picked up the phone and called my mom, because she knew my mom would laugh, okay? She wasn't, like, calling to be a pea-pat and tell on me. But she called my mom, and she said, "I just want to tell you that your daughter just said the F word." And my mom said, "Well, I guess you shouldn't have pissed her off." Pat had me standing there while she called my mom, and she told her that. I couldn't hear Mom's reply, but Pat busted out laughing. And they talked for another minute and she hung up. And I said, what'd she say? And she said, I guess I shouldn't have pissed you off. I was like, well, what can I say? I don't normally use that word, but, you know, every now and then you just can't really stop. I can't stop that feeling deep inside of me. Yeah. This is a new thing. I think 12 other people could fit in here with me, but it sure do be warm and comfy. See, the arms fit, and it's got a little hoodie. It's huge. It's a cape. It's huge, but it's got a pocket that goes all the way through. I love it, yeah. But they had 2 sizes, small, medium, large, extra large. They were sold out of the small, medium, so I ordered the large, extra large. I should have waited on the small, medium to come back in stock because I did not know me and 3 of my neighbors could fit in it, but that's okay. I'm going to wear it anyway. I mean, have you ever? When is that a large, extra large? But it is warm, and I do be liking it, so. What you doing, sassy britches? You just laying out here enjoying the sunshine? It's nice today, isn't it? I don't know why there's a pot in the middle of the yard. I don't even know how it got there. But I do know that I'm gonna have Tommy cut the grass soon. Because it's starting to, mostly it's my weeds that are growing. It's not the grass per se, but I've got weeds growing. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because these people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which will be tomorrow since I post every day. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Toodles, my noodles, and stay silly, my friends. Goodbye.